Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, I thank all of you to provide me this opportunity to speak to this august panel and such an important symposium. You must be surprised and thinking that what an army guy has to do with the environment which is learning and teaching. As ma'am told you a minute before, that we in army, either we fight or we train. And battles are very few, so rest of the time we train. And when we train, training means it's learning and teaching. I have spent 5 years of my life in teaching my student officers and have spent 6 years of my own life learning. I have attended long courses of 1 year each in colleges like yours at every stage of life. So that is how I connect with teachers, that is how I connect with the education institutes. I was looking at the Teachers Without Borders, and I thought, if there are no borders, I don't exist. So, Father is after my profession. Then I requested, give me something on which I can speak better than this. So Father said, okay, you speak on leadership. I said, yes, that's better. And why leadership is because all of you are teachers. You are shaping the lives of young students, young children. And when I speak about leadership, I'll speak as to how a leader is made and not born. It's a vast subject. And volumes and volumes have been written on it, and all of you are well aware. I'm not going to speak about the traits, the qualities, or the skills of leadership. All of you are aware. That runs into 50s, and I can keep counting. You can Google it, and you know about it. No, I'm not going to speak on that. So what do I speak? So I'm given as saying, cultivating leadership skills. Now, skill is a very small, very narrow way of looking at leadership. It's a very vast subject. Skill is just achieving a proficiency in any kind of a job you do. No. Leadership is much bigger than skill. You can call it leadership qualities, leadership traits, attributes. Now I'll pick up some of them as to how you can cultivate them. This question would have come to you at every stage, that are leaders born or are leaders made? And there are some lucky ones on which leadership has been thrust upon. I am of firm belief that leaders are made. Even if someone is born with leadership traits, he has to work hard to rise to that level of leadership which he has been achieving. It may be a little easy for him, but leaders are made. And I'll support this argument with an example of a military leader, the stable from where I come from. A leadership which we are, what it demands from us, nowhere in the world, no sphere demands so much from a leader as much as the military or the army demands. It demands me of the supreme sacrifice that I lay down my life while I am a leader leading my men. It demands of me that I should be so worthy that on my one word of command, my men, my soldiers will follow me and willingly lay down their lives. Think of it, which other leadership in any other arena, whether it is a politics or it is a corporate or anywhere, where does a followers demand so much from a leader? In the corporate, your main job is, which I'm so happy these days, to make profit. As long as you do that, you are a good leader. In politics, as long as your party wins in an election, you are a good leader. But that is what the leadership demands from us. And how do we shape this leader? That is what I'm going to speak to you. Just think of a situation, a young leader, a young captain with 3 to 4 years of service has been given a task to capture an enemy post which is on a hillock. The enemy is well-trained, 15-20 soldiers of enemy. automatic weapons. And this young officer has been given 100 men and has been asked to capture that. He lines them up. It's a dark pitch night. It's about 2,000 meters away, 2 kilometers away, because if he goes closer, he'll be fired at. He peps up his men and he tells, we are going to attack this post. While he is transecting this distance of 2 kilometers, it is mined. Enemy is firing his artillery. The Air Force is shelling him, and these 100 men start walking towards the enemy. Out of these 100, 30 to 40 will die while moving this distance. Another 30 to 40 will get injured, will be lying there only, can't move, which is worse than dying. And only 20 to 25 will finally reach to that objective and capture that and win victory. And out of these 100, when they lined up, none of them knew that who will be the one who will get killed, who will be the one who will be injured, and who will be the one who will finally win. But all 100, without blinking an eye, move with this leader. Think of it, which other leader, which other Safiya has got this kind of a leadership? And this leader is not born. He comes from a normal strata of life. He can be a coolie's son, he can be a driver's son, he can be a doctor's son, he can be a politician's son. We draw this talent from the normal walks of society, and then we shape this common person into a fine leader. I say, give me a man with common sense and common IQ, and I'll shape him into the leader which I just spoke about. And how do we do it? We put him through a training of around 3 to 4 years before we make him an officer. And once he becomes an officer, it's a continuous learning and teaching. Either it is organized institutions or it is on the job training or on weapon training, what we call it. And what are the traits which we teach him or which we inculcate him, or what the subject is, that what we cultivate, what leadership traits we cultivate in this leader. And why I'm saying so is that the students what you have are from this kind of a strata. How you can shape them, how you can make them fine leaders. The first, there are many qualities, there are many traits, there are many skills what just now the subject was given. The topmost among them, one I pick up, is professional knowledge and competence of a leader. No child is born with professional competence or knowledge, whether he is a doctor's son, whether he is a professor's son, or it's a politician's son. He may be born with a little more IQ or low IQ, but to become a leader, to become in his own sphere, he has to gain that knowledge, and that knowledge comes hard way. There are no shortcuts for that. Today's millennial says, yeah, knowledge, it's in my palm of hand. I have the mobile. I just do tuck, tuck, tuck. You ask me a question, I'll answer you no. That's not knowledge. That's just information. And from that information, to make it knowledge, you have to analyze that. You have to study that. And then the knowledge comes out of that information. So, though the access to information has become easier, but still, to make it a knowledge, you still have to work. There are no shortcut for professional knowledge. You have to gain it. So the first trait, what we call professional knowledge, comes from the schools, comes from the college, and then whatever profession he joins, we train our officers the maximum. No other organization trains so much, puts in so much of effort on their human resource as much as we do. And that is why we shape them into this. There is a very famous scholar or the military strategist called Sun Tzu, the Chinese. And about professional knowledge, he said that if you know yourself and if you know your enemy, you need not to fear the result of 100 battles. you will always be victorious because you have that professional knowledge with you. He goes on to say that if you know yourself, but you do not know the enemy, you will win, but with every victory, you will face a defeat because your professional knowledge is not complete. And he ends by saying that if you do not know yourself, neither you know yourself, nor you know the enemy, in all battles you will succumb. That is the importance of knowledge or professional knowledge we have. You would have heard that famous saying that what brought you here will not take you there. Right? So at every stage of yours, I have become a doctor after working very hard. But to achieve the higher, to MD, to be specialist, again I have to gain that knowledge. It doesn't come common. And how do we get this leader about whom I was talking about? Is that you see our test, entrance test. It is nothing to do like IITN or Super Genius, or the armed forces have a entrance test which is very common. It doesn't have to study in quota kind of institutions or academies to get an entrance. But after passing his exam, we put him through a psychological test for 4 days. And we grill him and we see what are the traits he has got. And then we shape him and provide him this professional knowledge. And that is how he becomes such a good leader. And that brings me to the next trait of leadership, is ability to take decisions. And this professional knowledge and professional competence enables him to make decisions and make sound decisions. There are two things in this. Decision making comes to every human being, every person, day to day. You start in the morning from your house to the office, you make a decision whether I should go by car or I should take a cab or I should take a local or what. So decision making is at every stage. A leader has to make bigger decisions. And my decisions when I make involves the lives of my men. And that decision making comes out from this professional knowledge. A leader who is not professionally competent will not be taking a decision. In 90s, we used to hear a theory saying not taking decision is also a decision. Yeah. No, that's omission. That's procrastination. If you don't take a decision, you will never gain something. You may avoid a difficult situation. But to gain something, you have to take a decision. And that only comes by the professional competence, what I just said. The third important thing, I'll just pick up a few of it. The third important trait which you can cultivate to make a leader is character. The character is an amalgamation of so many things. It's like the honesty, integrity, loyalty, ethics, morals, courage, discipline. It's made of so many things. No child is born with these. A child is born, you can't say he's an honest or a dishonest child. It is the environment which we provide him, shapes him into it. We provide him a good environment, he will grow up with good moral values, he'll become an honest officer or an honest person. If he's in a different environment, he will not. All of us have come to this kind of a dilemma many times, that when we are taking a decision or when we are doing something wrong, our conscience does tell, boss, this is not correct. After that, maybe the greed takes over and we still do the wrong thing. But these moral values or this character, which is made of so many things, can be shaped about for a leader. The next, within character is another thing is discipline. It's so important for a leader. And lightly in army we used to say that you will sail through if you reach at a place, at right time and right uniform. So just reach there, you'll sail through as a leader. And it happens so many times. Just go stand there in a proper rig and they'll think, oh yeah, he's in time and he's good. So many times you would have seen that why do we do this marching down the Rajpath in unison, every hand goes up in one way and the feet are synchronized. We don't have to do this march up or a drill in front of the enemy telling how good we are, how orchestrated our drill is. He'll shoot you. So have you ever thought, what is the need of this? For fighting a battle, to win a battle, you don't have to do drill. Why do we do that? That is to inculcate discipline. In a body of 800 soldiers, you have to say turn left, then everyone turn left. It becomes a muscle memory. He doesn't think about it. That's what discipline is. How many times you would have wished that your child was a disciplined child, right? So that is what discipline does for a leader. Some time back, Aligarh University was not doing well. And they picked up an army guy called Lieutenant General Joom Shah. He is the brother of famous actor Nasiruddin Shah. He was a judge in one of the tribunals. He was picked up from there and sent to university. And the first thing he did after going there was sack the union leader, student union leader. And everything became okay after that. But you need courage for that. You need that kind of a conviction to do that, because he has to survive for another 2 years out there. And he did that. So that is what the importance of discipline in our life. And this is what the importance of discipline in a leader. And this is not that you are born with. You can inculcate that in your house, in your school, in your college. And you can shape a leader by making him disciplined. The last trait I'll pick up out of this is lead by example. The story I told you, those boys will follow you only if they believe in you. That captain I just spoke about leads them from front. He's standing there. It was a dark pitch night. Any soldier could have sat down behind a boulder. No one sees him. Where is he and where is not? Once you reach at the objective, he would have also come with his weapon and say, oh, I was also part of you. No, he doesn't do that. Why? Because he follows the leader, and leader is leading by example. We spend 24/7, 10 months in an year with a soldier. And this life goes for almost 18 to 20 years. 10 months in a year, 24 hours we are together, and this goes for 18 to 20 years. I know my soldier better than his mother. And in any case, I know him much, much better than his wife, because he spends 10 months with me. So many times when we got married and we have a buddy with us, and he has been like my left hand. And there is a big tussle between the wife and this buddy. Buddy will pick up the shoes and keep there. The wife will say, no, that's the place. He says, Aapko kya malum? I know about Saab, what he does. So that is the bond we have with each other. And all. That's why leading by example. So I can't afford a military leader who is leading by example, can't afford to fault anywhere. In a night when I'm staying in a tent, in J&K kind of a situation, and if you go to washroom 3 times, next day all 100 bodies will know that his stomach was upset yesterday night. That is the kind of bond we develop with our men. And they see us 24/7, so I can't afford to be dishonest. I can't afford to be morally low. I can't afford to show them that I'm scared, though I may be so many times, but I can't show that. So that is leading by example. We play with them. We sleep in the same tent. We march with them in the night on the same patrols and all. This goes everywhere, in your sphere also. And this is nothing. It can be taught. You have professional knowledge with you. In the profession, what your men are doing, what the followers are doing, you do that, you inculcate, you will be a good leader. I came out of army, and I suddenly got an opportunity to be in corporate. Nice cushy job in Cuff Parade, good office, house nearby, my army club is nearby, Kulaba. I was happy. But I chose to go to the factory which was in Rajasthan. Immediately on coming, I spent 1 month out there. I put on my shorts. I'll pick up that bale of a cotton. We make yarn out of cotton, spinning mill. I'll go to the truck, I'll download that. It is around 160 kgs. So I felt it, how difficult it is. Put it into the godown, pick up on a cart, take it to the blow room, open it out, spread it out, and spend one week everywhere and see how those workers are working, what's conditions, what they need. And after about a month, I came back. And lo behold, after about a year, there was a strike in that same plant. Shut down, 7 days, no work. Every day we were facing around 2 crores of revenue. The management out there couldn't do anything. So I thought, let me try all my skills which I have learned in army and leadership skills. So I'll put them into test as to are they also applicable in this corporate environment or civil environment. So I go there, and when I'm taking my vehicle, the people are shouting slogans, this factory gate is closed, and stones were thrown onto the vehicle in which I was approaching. I kept the vehicle there, I got down and I also started shouting the same slogans which they're shouting, and I mixed with them. And I said, I'm part of you. If your salary is increased, mine will also be increased. Chalo, all of us will go together. So they found that the situation is suddenly changing. And those leaders who are trying to be leader are now, the air is taken out of them. So I said, okay, chalo, let's go. They said, no, we'll not go into the factory. I said, doesn't matter. We'll sit outside and we'll just talk. So somehow all of them sat down. I picked up a blackboard and a chalk and I said, okay, tell me anyone. So the leader was rising. I said, no, you don't worry. So 7, 8, 10 people got up. Whatever they said, I kept writing it. And then I wrote. And then I said, this is what is possible. This is what is not possible. And then tell me, if I give you these 5 out of 7, what will you do for the organization? Because this organization is giving you job. This is giving you the money to bring up your family. This is your life. If this closes, you will be doomed. Nothing will happen to the owner. He will still live the same life. They understood. In 2 hours, they were back to the factory. The machine started running. And by afternoon, I put the board that these are the things which are. So it is applicable everywhere. The time was given around 10 to 12, maybe I have taken a little more. Leadership is a thing on which one can speak volumes and all. It's such a close. I once again thank you, Father, for giving me this opportunity to just put up a thought in such a short span. And this is how you can shape a common youth into a fine leader, which I just spoke to you. Thank you so much.